see me. Well, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. Welcome everyone. I've got my International Mate Talk 2022. Hope you guys are all well. How excited do I look? A little bit on adrenaline, a little bit too much mate. I was ready to go. And plus, this was my inaugural event. This was pretty exciting. A live mate talk. The opportunity to have everyone via tech in the room together. It was pretty awesome. We had people from across the world. Bangladesh was there. Actually, I wrote it down so I don't forget anybody. Netherlands, Poland, England, Slovenia, Singapore, USA, and Australia. And we even had we had 3 guests that also came on board, and so we also had Barcelona and Chicago, which is the USA. I get it. I wanted to thank everyone, those who participated and joined in this event. I want to thank you all for your time. In some cases, I mean, I know the beautiful people from Bangladesh were up at 2 in the morning or 2:30 a.m. The same thing for Singapore. Vera, you got up very early, so thank you. Judith, who was in WA, also got up very early. I also had my good friend Kevin. Now for him, this would be like 2 a.m. also. So he came in his pajamas, champion. It was a fun event. I thought that in the end, the whole thing would go for about an hour and 15. It went for 2 hours. I actually was recording. One of my cameras stopped recording. The card had now filled, and then the camera was like, I'm out. So the event, yeah, it was pretty cool. People wanted to stay, to talk, and it's exactly what I was hoping it was going to be, and that is an opportunity to be together, to share collectively. Everybody had an equal voice, and we all would just, I guess the central theme was our love for niche perfumery, and that's what it really came through on that. I want to thank George, Carlos, and Daniel for your time. You guys were awesome. I really appreciate everything that you shared. George, he had a busy schedule. He had just launched the Z Creators that morning. Here are some of the images. From this Mate Talk, he was then jumping on a plane and going to Europe. So, you know, yeah, I'm so appreciative of the time that you allowed for us to be part of this event with us. Carlos and Daniel, it was interesting that I spoke to them prior to the Mate Talk to say, look, you know, maybe we could talk about this or that, and just so we had some sort of structure there. I also knew that I wanted it to be jazz. I didn't want to be constrained by you know, a theme. And in the end, the theme was layering. And people started to ask questions. So the fans started to ask questions on layering. And in the end, both Carlos and Daniel started to talk about how you could layer the different fragrances. The knowledge that they had gained, the experience that they shared. One of the key things that they spoke about, if you're interested in layering, and this was a hot subject. This actually, a lot of people jumped in and asking questions about layering. Why would you why would you layer your fragrances was one of the questions. And that is that the advantage that you have with the niche perfumery is that the oils that are present, they can play with each other. So now you can create a unique scent of your own. The only rule, and there are no rules, but the only rule from a chemistry point of view is that the heavier molecules really should be at the bottom. And that's meaning that things like oud, leathers, woods, musk, so heavy musks, you really should put that on first and then put on the lighter molecules on top, citrus, florals, etc. And that's so that all the molecules can work together. So think of it logically, if you put the lighter molecules first, put the heavy molecules on top, you're actually going to, I guess, squash them, compress them, you know what I mean. So that was the only thing, one thing that I really loved both from Carlos and Daniel, and that was perfume is about self-expression. Perfume is about you, so just experiment and don't be constrained by rules. There was Lee Allen, who mentioned that he sprays 10 times. I see, and that's one that I'm like, I can't do. So, but for me, I can't do 10 times. I can do 3, but whereas with Lee, he likes to have, you know, he wants to have that projection. So for him, so this is what really came out was, perfume is for you. It's a way for you to express yourself, and yeah, just have fun, enjoy. You know, smelling is a pleasurable experience. So anyway, bottom line, thank you. Thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you for the fans who came on board. Thank you to these amazing gentlemen who gave up of their time to participate and share and connect with the fans from the Niche Fragrance Collector. Thank you. I am so appreciative. I sent an email out to everyone just to say, well, a personal thank you. And I did ask him, you know, what would you change? You know, what didn't quite work? What was clunky? And what would you do different? Or what would you what did you like? And you know, so just so I can get an idea. Two things and I want to highlight these two individuals. And I don't want to say, so everybody wrote back, and I thank you for your comments. 2 points that really resonated. One was Ricardo, and that is that he liked the number of people. We had probably about 20 plus, 22 people in that session. And he felt that that number was perfect because everybody had a chance. And the funny thing is, sorry, finish that sentence. Everybody had a chance to speak. Everybody had a chance to, because we went around basically around the room, you know, what are you wearing today and why are you wearing it? And so everyone had a chance to share, to talk about what they were wearing, why they loved it, and recommend it to the group that we were there, that was present. Anything more than that everybody might not get a chance. And I actually, that really resounded, because in my mind, I thought it'd be cool to have 100 people in this session. But in the end, what Ricardo said is correct. And that to have an intimate group of, you know, say no more than 25, everyone gets a chance to share, to have a voice, to participate. And actually on that, I agree. I think, yep, moving forward, that should be something that I should look at. And Vera, you read my mind, and she mentioned that it would be cool to do this in person. That was the only thing from my end that I missed, and I like the energy that comes from being with people in a room. There was a pretty good vibe yesterday. Like I said, we went for 2 hours, but there's something tangible when you're in the room together. There's an energy that is palpable, and I think that's the only thing that I wanted. Because sometimes, you know, and you've all been in Zoom meetings where someone's speaking, but they didn't realize that somebody else is speaking, and you're speaking on the top, and you're like, oh, what was that? And then there's awkward pauses and stops, and no, please, you go. And so there was a little bit of that, which I think we've all become accustomed to it. Whereas all of us in a room together, you can actually talk over somebody else, and not in a bad way, but you know, just exchanging, you know, sort of information, and it's the energy of the room, and it's a good feeling. It's a happy feeling. So yeah, wouldn't it be cool to do a Mate Talk, a live Mate Talk around the world? I'm gonna have to talk to my financier and see what she says about. I already know the answer. They don't even have to ask. Have a look at these beautiful people. Look at these beautiful people. So in the lead up to the International Mate Talk, I put a challenge out to everybody to say, look, send me your own review of your favorite fragrance. Keep it under 60 seconds so I can put it on my as a reel on my Instagram. I think in the end we got 14 entries, which was pretty cool. So thank you to everyone who took the time to create their video. And again, you can see all the different nationalities that are present in this review. So thank you to everyone. Now, part of that was if you did the entry, or sorry, if you did the video, you would go into a chance to win the International Mate Talk 2022 Mate Holder. Here is the beautiful design. This was actually created by my cousin. She has created a new business, and she's actually hand engraving, I think the terminology is, these actual mates. So we had 4 to give away. The winners of those was Jason, an Aussie boy. Congratulations to Jason. Ricardo from Poland. Congratulations for yours. Philip from Slovenia, and as I mentioned, I'm going to be visiting Slovenia, so I look forward to catching up with you, Philip. And Damas from Hungary. So congratulations to all 4 who won their personally engraved International Mate Talk 2022. Now, these were all marked, so I've got 1 of 5, and then these are all numbered. So yeah, it's a collector's item. It's going to be worth millions one day. Millions, forget about it. One of the things that we all did during the live Mate Talk was share what fragrances we were wearing and why. Why did we choose those? Now I want to draw on, so I want to share 3 fragrances that I wore yesterday, and I'd like to put them forward as 3 fragrances that should also belong in your collection. These are spectacular. And it was in honor of our 3 guests that we had. In the morning, as soon as I finished, and that was 4:45 a.m. All right, so some people are like, bah, I get up at that time all the time. I don't, okay? I normally get up around 6:30, so 4:45 was the task. And the first thing that I did after my shower is I put on Milano. And the reason why I chose, I actually put it on my stomach. I wanted this one here because I wanted those, it has a glorious fruit note on the opening, but it's the dry down that I wanted, and that is it's leathery, it has a woody note, it's ambery, there's a slight vanilla tone to it. There is comfort. This one here, it just makes me happy. It makes me feel grounded. I feel centered in my mind. The leather is present but not predominant, so it doesn't go over the top. It's not a heavy leather. I think those early fruits bring it down and just gives us this it's a very comforting fragrance. So I had Milano on my stomach, and that's sort of, because you know there's always nerves when you're doing these sort of things. Is the tech, in the end the tech decided, I mean, we tested 3 times, Mr. George Zaharoff, we tested 3 times pushing those images so that everyone could see the new Z Creators 2.0. It didn't want to work. It didn't want to do it. I'm like, and anyway, so I always know that the tech's going to do what the tech wants to do on the day. So I needed to be grounded. It's all good. We've got this. Everything's under control. When I got to the office, I then wore these 2, and I put them on each of my arm. I put on Neroli Mediterraneo, which is a beautiful Paris fragrance. It's the new release. This one here I love, being that it has got the classic Neroli note, which is a slightly bitter orange with a little bit of white floral, but this also has, I know it has ginger and some spices, and then goes musky wood in the base. So it starts off very fresh, not too citrus, so it has this nice balance, but it goes into this nice, like, again, I think I was going for grounding. I wanted grounding, I wanted sort of just keep my mind at rest, and then I wanted vibrance, and I had Zaharoff Royale, which has this beautiful, again, slightly fruity notes on the opening, but it has this wonderful, the lavender and that aromatic lavender component of it is just glorious, and then the musks down the bottom. So all 3 of them, I was layering, and I didn't realize it. All 3 of them were doing their magic throughout the Mate Talk for 2 hours, and at certain parts I would get either the Milano, the leathery notes, or I would get some of that Neroli coming through, or the lavender. So I had this beautiful scent cloud that was emanating while I was doing the Mate Talk. Thank you, everyone. I am really, really appreciative of this journey that I'm on. I'm really appreciative of all those who are joining me on this journey, and I thank you for your support. I thank you for your very kind comments. I thank you for your encouragement. I'm also open to changes. Some people say, look, I don't like this or I don't like that. Yeah, it's about developing. It's about evolving. So yeah, tell me things that you would like to change moving forward. But that's it. Live International Mate Talk was done for 2022. I look forward to the next one, and I look forward to seeing you guys all on the next Mate Talk. Thanks, everyone.